Okay, so before we start testing, I noticed I've done one mistake here. Let's say user is trying to update password, and in that case we have created a variable here, and that will be updated. But let's say if user is not trying to update password, in that case it will not go in this if, and password will be empty string, and then we will override the password. So we'll have to do it differently. Let's say, let's move this at the top, I mean just above the hash password, and I'm going to remove this from here, and then I can just create variable of hash password here. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write object dot assign again, and here on existing user what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do password equal to hashed password. Okay, now this should work. Now this should work. First we have set all the properties here in existing user. Now we are setting password here on this existing user, so this will override whatever the password we are trying to trying to, whatever the password exists on this object, it will override with this one. Okay, and if we are not trying to update user password, then it will not go in this condition. Okay, so it's time to test, and before I test I will save this file, and now I'm going to add one more endpoint here. This will be update user. I'm going to keep it patch, and it will be localhost 1, and 1 is the the user ID, and okay. So before I update something here, let me check what we are getting in for what we have the data for 1. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some number here. So what I can do in this case, let's do one thing. Let's do phone number. Okay, and this will be, let's say, +1. Okay, now if I try to update, we'll get the updated phone number. Okay, so if I go back in database SQLite, and if I try to open this table, users table, you will notice if I try to expand this more, the password ends with OJK. Why I'm saying this right now and why I'm showing this to you, the reason behind that, now I will try to update the password, so, and we'll see whether my password is getting updated properly or not. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna update password, and this time I will put password from 1 to 9. Okay, now if I go back here and if I close this, right now it is OJK, and if I refresh this, now it is PSITW. So it saved the hashed password only. I was just verifying that our password is being changed or not, it is getting changed or not, and it is being saved properly or not. So as we see, now it is being properly saved, so our update function is working fine. Now we are going to work on remove user. So for this, what I'm gonna do, this store user repository dot delete, and here I can pass user ID, and I can just use result, and what it will have, promise dot delete result. Okay, and then what I can check is if result dot affected, I will have to await, and now I can check result dot affected is greater than 0, then what we can say, we can return what we can return message user deleted successfully, right? And here return what else? So let's do reverse. If it is less than, or if it is just I think we can put condition like this, then we can return this object, otherwise we'll throw new bad request, and we can say user ID does not exist, do not exist. Okay, let me just do this way. User ID doesn't exist. All right, or not ID, we can just say user doesn't exist. Okay, let's try to let's try to delete one user. For that I will be adding one new request here, and this will be remove user. So I'm going to write remove user, and here I can add the same endpoint. Let me save last two endpoints, otherwise when I will close this Postman and open it again, my changes will be lost. Now this should be delete. Okay, let me verify whether I have marked it as delete request or not. Yeah, this is delete. Okay, fine. Now I don't need to pass anything in the JSON as in body. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just try to delete it, and it is saying user deleted successfully. And if I try to get all the users, now we don't have user ID 1. Okay, so we have completed get all users, user by ID, user update, and user delete. Next we are going to see how we can handle errors. What if we get some error, how we can handle it with exception filter.